Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Radha Madhava, Dandavat Pranam. Sorry, I was a little delay today.
It's okay, Prabhu.
No problem, Prabhuji. It's okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mayank Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Shrivani Mata, Rachana Mata.
Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshururmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. You can all unmute yourself and then we can chant together.
Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
We are doing Mangalacharan. Vande Yaham Shri Guru Srijuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnava Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Shahagana Radharanikantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Purijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakharnitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripasindhu Vayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Charu Swami Niti Namine Snigdha Cheto Shupraneto Bhagaminan Chakashaputam Prabhupado Gato Prana No Bhakti Charupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for joining. And today, continuously, we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And which verse we are starting from today?
84.
Verse 84. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shabdo Tamanudo. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shabdo Tamanudo.
Which verse is it, Prabhuji?
Verse 84.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Adi 84. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu, you could read the translation.
Sure, Prabhu. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon, They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of God to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all.
Jai. This is one of my very favorite verse that specifically on this verse, the second line, Gaurodaye pushpavantu nitya shabdu tamanudo. Gaurodaye pushpavantu. This word is like, excuse me, unbelievable. So if you go to the word by word translation, this pushpavantu, ultimately we know pushpa means flower. But over here, this pushpa is not called the flower. This is like a sun and moon. So that's the merciful of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who doesn't came alongly, who came with Shahodito, Shahodaraha, his brother, as Balaram. Whereas, if there is no sun, or if there is a sun, there is no moon, will give that much, what the word I would say, that much respect to the sun. If you have a sun, it's like a whole day and night, continuously have a sun. So there is no night, only the day. So we cannot recognize that's very good way to the sun on that time, if we don't have any change. But in the night time, if we have, every night is dark night, we will get that happiness in that night? We will not. So when the moon comes, so that time, our mind got different happiness. So that's it, that sun and moon have to be together. Without the sun and moon, as like the day and night will be not possible. The similar way, in this age of Kali, without Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu is nothing. Without Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu is nothing. That's why he's mentioning this age of Kali, they came together with the sun and moon. But this sun, normally sun, we got a very hot. We got very hot. But we know when Hanuman, he went to eat sun god. The sun god, he completely changed his power, his temperature. Right? His light is there, shining is there, but there is no hot on that shine. There is a cold. So, Nitai Podo Kamolo Koti Chandra Shushitad. Nityananda Prabhu is as comparing over here as a moon, but his lotus feet are cold like a Koti Chandra, the crores of moon. Together, how much cold it will be give? That much cold in lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. So that's why this sun and moon, both are completely filled with a love. Love for us. Love for the devotee. They came in this material world to deliver the fallen soul. So that's why over here, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami was praying to Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bande, bandana kori. I'm praying to their lotus feet, sun and moon. Anything if anyone want to add?
Prabhuji, I wanted to share something. You said
Yes,
that
please.
without the sun, if the sun is continuous there, or if the night is continuous there, we don't feel good. That is truly experienced by people who live in Lapland countries like Sweden, Finland, where there is like 6 months daylight and 6 months night. So people really get into depression and they have challenges, lot of challenges, because they don't see when the sun is there, like throughout the 24-hour sun is there. And then when night is there is no sun, like 24 hours night. So there are countries like that in the northern.
Really? I
Yeah.
don't know that.
Yeah, Prabhu. On this earthly planet, there are on the northern region, like Arctic region, there are countries like that. And when from night, it will become like daylight, the sun will rise at 12 at midnight. And then for 6 months, there is continuous sun and there is no night. So I wanted to share, like you said, because if there is continuous light or continuous night, then it's not good. So there people really suffer from that. So there are countries like that.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for sharing.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Jai. Any thoughts on this? Anyone?
Prabhuji, I was listening to Govardhan Lila, and it seems when Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, he knew that Rajvasis, cows, and all the inhabitants of Vrindavan will not get sun and moon under the mountain. So Krishna, with his one eye, he served as a sun and one eye as a moon on those 7 days. And he gave light to all the inhabitants of Vrindavan.
Right. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Another thing, Prabhuji, like what Ramchandra Prabhuji mentioned, we visited Alaska, and Alaska in America has the same situation, 6 months day and 6 months night. And so when we visited in summer, we could not sleep because at nighttime also it is like a hot, you feel like, oh, it's 12 in noon. So they have big, thick curtains, and you have to put all the curtains and make the room dark, so you can feel it's night. And people there over, they have a special form of light. So that light slowly rises, electronic light, as if moon is rising. Well, in winter, they use that special light.
Oh,
So we are blessed by Krishna's mercy.
that's true. Look at that. Thank you.
Prabhuji, we always hear about Kali Yuga, so I don't know about this. So what is the background of Kali or Kali Yuga? Is he a person or something like that?
Okay. You listening Srimad Bhagavatam by Bhakti Vijay Bhagavad Maharaj?
Yeah,
So
I know a little background.
yeah,
but
you
not
you
that
already
much.
listened that in a very first chapter, the Parikshit Maharaj and Koli's description of that, right? 5th chapter and 6th
So
chapter,
he
I think.
was a person.
He's a person. He is a person.
So is he cursed by God or something?
He is cursed by, is not, he is the cursed by God.
Why?
Very good questions. As we know, God created everything, right? As God created the day, God created the night, God created the dark night, shine night. On the Kali also is required. Every yugas, people's mentality got changed. How? So in Shatyugas, as we know, the Shatyugas Lord casted as all 4 legs of dharma. Satya, Shaucha, Tapodaya. These 4 legs of dharma are completely alive. On that alive dharma, in alive time also, there is some few peoples, they want to do the mundan karmas, all bad karmas. So all the bad karmas, it is roll over always. So when it's come, then Treta Yugas come, those rollover bad karmas got even more bigger. Means the amount of people got more bigger. Dwapar Yugas come, get amount of more bigger because every Yugas the one legs getting hurt by those bad peoples. Then age of Kali when come, Kali was created with a three dharmas, three legs, the cutting legs of dharma. Means who really doesn't have, who could say the three leg? What is the three leg? Ram Hanuman, he knows.
Trying to remember, Prabhu, not
Mhm.
coming top of my head.
Okay. Ramchandra Prabhu?
Prabhu, mercy. One is
Mhm.
mercy. Then Saucha, cleanliness. And mercy, Saucha.
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness is there. It's like that is the only leg remaining, I think.
Right.
The other one that is cut down is
Austerity.
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 Exactly. Yeah.
Austerity.
So, Shocham, Tapa, Daya. Just three legs was cut down. And only one legs are remain. And that's the truthfulness. Satya. That is remain on this age of Kali. People are going to be love. What? This age of Kali, there is a Satya there. Truthfulness? Yes. Because of the truthfulness, there is some munis, some saintly personalities that are very much truthfulness. And for their power, this yoga will be run whole time. But that three legs are cutting down and the Kali personality is born out of it. So that's the Maharaj Kali. And Lord, make it to Maharaj Kali. Maharaj, make it to Maharaj Kali. The reasons is to giving the understanding to the human being, the fallen soul. If you do the bad karmas, what kind of punishment you will get by Kali? So that's the reasons Lord always make something. And Lord give the options. Either you can go to accept Maharaj Kali as a servant, Kali's servant, or there is options also. You can surrender to Krishna's lotus feet.
Yeah.
So that's the reason Lords make Kali. When the three leg cutting, so where that three legs, papas will go. So those papas came as a personalities. As we know in the Ekadashi, why we do the Ekadashi Vrat? As I tell you before also, I think, the Papa Purush. The Papa Purush are manifested by all kind of sin. From his leg to his head, every single part of his body are committed some offenses, and not a normal offenses. Not as like a kill the mosquitoes. It's kind of offenses like a killing the brahmanas, like that kind of brahma hatya papaha. So strong offenses, so those offenses got accumulate in one place, and that's become a one person's, and the person's name is Papurush. And Papurush was praying to Lord Krishna that you made me, give me my food. Then Lord mentioned, who is eat this all, ultimate non-eatable items, non-veg, this. So you stay with them. So ultimately they eat sin. Now on day of Ekadashi, on that time, normally people are become a vegetarian. On day of Ekadashi, they don't eat anything. So now Papurush said, nobody eating meat and things, so where I will go? Then Lord said, okay, whoever will eat grain, you stay with them, because my devotee, they don't eat grain on day of Ekadashi. So who eating grain, you stay with them. That's not a problem. So that's this, like Lord's always make some personalities, and Lord always give them a service. Okay. Sudevi raising her hand. What questions, Sudevi, you have?
So did Lord made every single personality and gave him a specific job?
Yes. Thank you. Okay. So any more thought on that verse 84? Anyone?
Yeah, just a quick question, Prabhuji. I do not know what is the eastern horizon of Goda. What is Goda? Gaur or yeah? Is that a region somewhere?
Okay. Gora is the one of the place where is ultimately Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited one, but the naming came actually in different way. One is a Radhavanga, one is a Gauravanga. The Gauravanga, that areas is ultimately, I hear the history from there. It's a place called Malda. That's the Gauravanga's capital. So the sunrise, they got the first sunlight on that city. So that's why they said Gaura, that areas. And Rad areas, which areas actually there is no rain, is like a desert. So that's called the Radhavanga. So that's Radhavanga is Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared, and it is changed everything. The Radhavangas become a very merciful, by the Lord Nityananda. So that's the things I know. The later on, the Gaura, they known by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present, that time the king of the Gauras, of the Bengal, they said these Gauravangas at the name of Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one more thing. This Vanga is in our national anthem, West Bengal. Jana Gana Mana has the Vanga. If you listen carefully, you will know.
Yeah. Yeah, because the national anthem, you know that written by who?
Yes, Rabindranath Tagore.
Yes, Rabindranath Tagore. So he wrote, within a few, I think within few hours notice, he just sit and write.
Correct. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Text 85, 86. ব্রজে যে বিহরে পূর্বে কৃষ্ণ বলরাম কোটি সূর্য চন্দ্র যিনি দোহার নিজ ধাম সেই দুই জগতের হইয়া সদয় গৌর দেশে পূর্বে শৈলে করিলা উদয়. What a beautiful verse. ব্রজে যে বিহরে পূর্বে কৃষ্ণ বলরাম কোটি সূর্য চন্দ্র যিনি দোহার নিজ ধাম সেই দুই জগতের হইয়া সদয় গৌর দেশে পূর্ব শৈলে করিলা উদয়. Translation in Hindi. Mata.
अनुवाद. श्री कृष्ण तथा बलराम जो भगवान है और पहले वृंदावन में प्रकट हुए थे तथा सूर्य और चंद्रमा से करोड़ों गुना अधिक तेजस्वान थे. अब विश्व की पतित अवस्था देखकर अनुकंपावश गौड़ देश पश्चिमी बंगाल के पूर्वी क्षितिज पर उदित हुए हैं.
Jai. So Prabhu's questions came from here, that Gaura Desh as West Bengal. So over here is mentioning as a whole West Bengal as a Gaura Desh. Right? Uh, so this is like already discussions on the previous verse, and more clear as mentioning here that Lord Krishna and Balaram, how they came in this earthly planet, and specifically sun and moon, the Koti Chandra Shudra Sama. Koti is 1 crore of sun if you keep together, 1 crore moon if you keep together, how much sunshine or moonshine will get. So they came from there, but they came in this material world to bring that shyness. As we know, when Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared in Radhavanga, in Ekachakra Dham, there is one Shiva temple, who is a Harai Pandit, father of Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who worshipped that Shiva. And that Shiva's name, anybody know the Shiva's name is? Anybody went Ekachakra? Maybe Ramchandra Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, I don't know, Prabhu. I have never been to Ekachakra, Prabhu.
Ram Hanuman Prabhu, did you been there in Ekachakra?
No, Prabhu, I need your association. I've not been there yet.
I was just trying to remember that Shiva's name, I also forget. So that's why I just try to find out. That's, might be one of you know that name.
Let's see.
Ekachakra Shiva temple, worshipped by Harai Pandit. Abhijit.
Buruship.
No. That's in Navadvip. Buroship. Starting with a C or Cha.
Is it Chatur Puja?
No. Chakleshwar Mahadev.
Chakleshwar Mahadev.
So that Chakleshwar Mahadev, he was screaming. He was screaming, and say that scream people can hear in a two-way. For the devotee, they are hearing that someone are happily they screaming, Devo! They hearing the sound and they understood there is some specific special personalities appear. But those people are not a devotee. They are so scared. They say, oh my God, what kind of noise is this? Scareness come to their heart. And their heartbeat was running, is like very fast. That's Chakleshwar Mahadev. Why he's screaming? Because Chakleshwar Mahadev was so happy that his Lord appeared in this material world. So that's the Chakleshwar Mahadev when he was screaming. So that time the village of the devotees, they are getting message to each other. Their son born in Harai Pandit and Padmapati's house. And when that son born, Nityananda Prabhu, if you visit Ekachakra, there is a place called Shashtitala. Shashtitala means is like a Shrutika Griha. Shrutika Griha in India or Bangladesh, on those areas, on the previous time, there is no hospital. People used to, make an individual small room outside for, baby birth, and the nurses come. Those nurses are called Dai or Dhatri, who help out for the birthing process. So the Srutika Griha is actually the birthing place for the babies. So then what happened when Nityananda Prabhu born in Srutika Griha? That Srutika Griha, suddenly a light. Srutika Griha, at that time there is no electricity lights. So suddenly it's light, sunshine. Because the Koti Shurya Shama, Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared there. And we know when Nityananda Prabhu appeared, not only the Srutika Griha, he did lighting. He did lighting everywhere. All the devotees heard he light. Those devotees are having very tough time. For the Mundan people are disturbing them a lot. Hearing that Sakleshwar's sheep was screaming, they got happiness. The sunshine come to their heart. This is, oh, our protector arrived already. So we don't have any more worry. That's Lord Nityananda Prabhu. As we know, Nityananda is another name. Nityananda Simha. He is like a lion. That's Prabhu Nityananda. He is mentioning the same Koti Shurya Chandra Sama Tar Nijo Dham, his holy dham as Gloka Vrindavan, always is like a, sunshine and moonshine is like effulgence. It's udbhashita. So when Nityananda Prabhu appeared on this Eka Chakra, he also bring that shyness to Eka Chakra Dham. So that's the way we are very, very fortunate that not too long ago that Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this material world. When we read our literature and when we read Hiranyakashipu and Lord Narasimhadev, reading about a Shanda Amarka teaching to all the students, Prahlad Maharaj is studying there. We are glorifying now there. But we are just 500 years ago. The Supreme Personality of Godhead came in this material world. And we are just 5 generations, like just you go ahead in your 5 generation before. They present on that time. So how much lucky we are, isn't it? How much lucky we are, and still we having that connection, complete parampara systems in our personalities, so that we can get associated with them. So by that we are getting sunshine, isn't it? We are getting sunshine from them. So that's how the Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought that sunshine and moonshine, and by their mercy, we're still getting that. And Srila Prabhupada, the founder, who said, next 10,000 years, there is no worry. So we think Prabhupada declared 10,000 years. So now, not even 100 years yet, just only 60 years. We are on that 60-year zone of Bhavishyat Bani of 10,000 years. So 1,000 years back, 1,000 years later, people are going to be glorified who was in Prabhupada's time, who was in Prabhupada's disciple time. They are talking about how fortunate they are. But unfortunate we are that we are not actually having that understanding how fortunate we are. What do you think? Rose, you are reading 84, 85 in Adi Lila, first canto.
Yes, Prabhu, we are really very fortunate. And even in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, only those people who are very, very intelligent will take to the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Sumedasa, those who are Sumedha, they will only take. So those people who have come to Krishna consciousness are really, really intelligent. They are very blessed and they are really intelligent in this. Krishna Varnam, Krishna Varnam, Tusha Krishnam, Yeah. Sangopangasa Parsadam Yagge Sankirtane Praye Yajanti Sumetasa.
What a beautiful verse. This is another of my favorite verse.
So there it is said like that. So really, we are really fortunate, and really all glories to Srila Prabhupada and their servants that we are in this bhakti of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu parampara.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
There
Advaita
is,
Prabhu.
I must say, I completely agree that we are so fortunate that we have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu guide us 500 years back. If you think about it a little analytically, uh, Krishna had been here for 5,000 years, and most of the, I'm saying, even though there were some devotees, always there were some devotees who were worshipping Krishna, but 500 years back, unless Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, we would not have understood the real import of Krishna's appearance and his message. He actually unearthed, he actually rediscovered Krishna's birthplace, his play areas, and all those kind of things associated with Krishna. Until and unless he was there, we would have not got this particular information at all. So from that perspective, I think Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth was the most important birth or appearance basically in this world, because of him only we are able to connect with Krishna the way we are connecting in a loving relationship, which is the highest form of relationship. No other religion, no other line of bhakti in even in India basically teaches this kind of loving relationship, the highest form of relationship that one can have with God. So from that perspective, we are very, very, very lucky. We say there is no comparison.
Yep. Yep. Thank you. Remo Sindhu Prabhu, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we are also very fortunate to be in your association.
I am really fortunate that I got that all serious and very nice devotee giving me and protecting me by their power. So thank you for that. It is actually not you're fortunate. I am the fortunate person who getting all nice association of all the nice devotees. Okay, Dipanand Prabhu, what do you think on this age?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Sorry Prabhu.
And Prabhu just reached home and he reached home and he just get in the meeting. Thank you, Prabhu. No resting time. Thank you, Kishori Mata.
It's because of you, Prabhu. So Prabhu, if I didn't hear the full conversation, but I think we are talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming here 500 years ago. And I often think about what would the life be if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't come or Srila Prabhupada didn't come to US. And so by just thinking that, it gives me that motivation to do more bhakti and to do more devotional service, is because this is the best gift ever. And I feel very fortunate that we have this gift, that we can give it to others as well. And there are people, I was talking to my boss yesterday, and he was saying, "Oh, I don't believe in Gita." He said, "No offense to you." He's a good friend of mine. He said, "No offense to you. I haven't read Gita, and so I don't believe it. I don't believe Gita." I said, "Have you read it?" He said, "No." I said, "At least you should read once to believe. Then you can say, I don't believe in it." So the fact that Srila Prabhupada came and he brought the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and anyone who just read once or has some logical mind to understand what is being described, they can become a devotee. They can become a devotee and they can change their life. So yeah, I feel very fortunate that this is the best thing ever in our life that has happened. And now I fear that I don't fall down, but that's the fear I have. But other than that, it's just amazing to be in association. It's amazing to see the deities. It's amazing to do devotional service. So yeah,
Yeah, you don't have to worry about about the falling down, because you always have a good foundation and all pillar of your foundation in surround. So don't worry. If you try to fallen down, your pillar will not going to allow you to fall down. They will pick you up.
And another thing, Prabhu, now Mataji is also there. So backbone, the strength, she will correct you, Prabhu, whenever you will go wrong. Don't worry.
What if Mataji goes wrong? Then
Prabhuji will
everything will
correct.
fall down.
No, but all the devotees there in this group are what I look for to help us if we fall down.
Yeah.
But I'm very confident Matajis never go wrong.
You are our kavach, Prabhuji. You all devotees are our kavach. As we discussed other day, that devotee association is like a kavach for
Thank you.
us.
Thank you. Premashindu Prabhu. Premashindu Prabhu have to share something else also. Premashindu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Brother Radha Mata.
Yeah. So what I wanted to share is that I consider myself and my family fortunate that we got an opportunity to come into Krishna consciousness after so many births. Like when we read about all of this 84 lakh species of life that you pass through, when I see we riding cars on the road, we see some animals being like, coming, some cars have run over some animals and there are some dead bodies lying of animals. Like nobody's bothered like what happened to them. Like, they just die their natural death without even like they do not, it's limited to their body. And when I see human beings also the other day, like I was traveling somewhere and I saw that these ladies were drinking like in one rest area, they were smoking and everything. I was thinking, like, instead of blaming them, like, oh, look how bad they are doing, it would be nice if we could show them, like, what is the real path. And I could think that way also. Was like, I was surprised at myself, because otherwise like I just feel myself fortunate that if it hadn't been for Lord Chaitanya's the Lord coming in the form of Mahaprabhu and giving this Harinam Sankirtan mood and everything to all the devotees, chanting, like I hear from many lectures that all the holy name, the congregational chanting of the holy name is so powerful. Where would we be without all of these things? We would be like rotting in some hell, like passing through different species, maybe in some animal, like an insect in or a worm in a stool or something. Like if we wouldn't have been for Nitai and Gaura like adventing.
Right.
So really thankful. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it is very, always we have sharing because many times what happened as a human being, we forgot. So that's why always is very good when with the association of devotee, we can just recap to ourselves that how fortunate we are.
Yes.
So this is a wake-up call for every person. So that's why in between, we are just talking about, we are just asking about, so then we can, always keep recap to ourselves.
Yeah, it's so scary because we just got this news of one very nice devotee who was caring for cows in India, in Mayapur. I think he was staying in Gajanan Prabhu. He passed away in a car accident on the road. I saw 2 more devotees passed away exactly in car accident in this past month, like devotees passing away in their youth. So I feel like, are we like, I was questioning myself that, am I ready? If death comes right now, am I ready? Like acharyas have laid down such huge like skeleton pathway, like like how you actually, if you do all of these things in this lifetime, you go back home, back to God. Have I even started doing even 1/4 of that? That if the death comes in my face, I don't know where I would be in my next life with this kind of what we are going. So it's a good wake-up call when we hear this news also. such devastating news of devotees passing away. It's really a good wake up call for us. We should take that as like go deeper into our sadhana.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Arun Prabhu.
Prabhuji, he is serving food to Soham. Soham is.
Oh, okay. Yes, Rachana Mata. We can hear from you.
Oh, Prabhuji, this 2 verse is really amazing. And as you said, 500 years are not that long. Probably 5-6 generation to us. And it's good we born in this generation so that we can taste Chaitanya Charitamrita and hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And personally speaking, I didn't know about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu until I came to US. In Maharashtra, we worship Vithala, we worship Ganesh a lot and Lakshmi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityanand Prabhu, we never worship. So when I first visited Hare Krishna Mandir, I saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. At that time, I did not even know their name. And I was thinking, who are this deity? So I asked somebody, who are they? So my knowledge was that at that level that I did not even know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu. And I'm glad I'm in US because I'm getting this knowledge. Otherwise, if I would have been in India, I don't think I would have got this knowledge. So in that way, I thank Krishna that he planned good. Yeah, and I'm so happy we are reading together.
Thank you. Ram Hanuman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for giving this association. And so you always so humble. That's actually teaches me a lot. I know you don't take the credit, but your humility is really good example. Regarding the fortunate about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I was thinking when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with Nityananda Prabhu, and he displays those pastime, especially the pastime that Jagai and Madai, that how he actually delivered, even though Lord Nityananda Prabhu was hurt, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually wanted to hit him, but on the request of Lord Nityananda, he didn't. And he reminded him that you came here for deliverance for everybody. And that pastime actually teaches us how merciful is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then Prabhupada actually, and I agree with Rachana Mataji, I don't know if I would be taking the Krishna consciousness if I would not be in US. Although I had some little bit exposure when I was in India, but after coming to US, when I came in contact with devotees, that's how I came to know Srila Prabhupada more. And reading about Srila Prabhupada, how he dedicated his life actually, only because of the devotees. He cared so much. In the old age, when he started this movement in New York, he would actually cook for them and clean the dishes. And those devotees actually were thinking how this whole old man is actually doing these things every single day. So that's very encouraging, and it's on all of us basically to spread Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Mayank Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'm just grateful to the association that we have here. And regarding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what I've realized in a very short time is the disciplic succession is very pure and authentic, right? That's like the path of devotion that we have received. That personally, I find that to be very fulfilling my heart. Like when I do like at least like some rounds of chanting or even some puja in the temple, uh, that's I did not even know what devotion was. So I'm really thankful to him and all the association that that I got to know what devotion to God is, and the absolute truth is. So I'm still learning, and a long way to go. But so far, I'm very thankful that I got to know at least something about devotion and love towards God.
Thank you.
Thank
Where
you.
is Mataji is
Oh,
there?
Prabhu, I wanted to say something,
Yeah.
Mayank Prabhu. So whenever Mayank Prabhu speaks, it's he has so much mercy of Lord Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I can see them whenever he speaks, especially on the Zoom. I can see them manifesting live.
I was thinking the same thing, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So Mayank Prabhu, you have a very good pillar on backside of you, okay? So see, two exalted devotee, as in a very senior devotees, exalted devotee, surrender soul, are back on you. So you are protected, Prabhu. Just go ahead, and they will support you. Thank you.
Prabhu. Thank you.
Shrivani Mata.
Haribol Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I don't have much to add. Actually, everyone put it very nicely, and they know much more than me. They are way more experienced than me, so I really don't have anything to add. But if I have to add anything, I would just be extremely, extremely grateful and thankful for the association, for classes like these, which keeps me reminding that to be on this path and that I am on the right path. And I'm thankful for my Guru Maharaj. And I can only be thankful and grateful for devotees and my Guru Maharaj. But I do have a question, Prabhu, because you were speaking about Nityananda Prabhu. I am going through a song right now, which is Nitai Guno Moni Amar. In that, I'm struggling with two lines. Not struggling in the sense, but I want to understand these two lines. Which one of which is Brahmaro Durlabha Prem Shabakare Jache. What is this Brahmaro Durlabha Prem? What is this Brahmar Durlabha Prem?
Very nice. And what is the next line?
And the next line is, hold on. Oh, I have to sing it in my mind.
Why is mine? You sing for everyone. We all know Shrivani Mata was our great, nice
No.
Madhur Sangeet, you know.
No.
Yes,
Brahmar
Mataji,
Durlabha
please
Prem
sing and tell us.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
Yes, please, Mataji, sing if you can.
Oh yeah, Abuddha Koruna Sindhu Nitai. So Abuddha Koruna, why is it Abuddha?
Abuddha Koruna Sindhu
Nitai
Nitai Katiya Mahan.
Ghare ghare bule prem ami aroban.
Listen, what a beautiful sound. Please go another two lines. Please.
Nitai guno moni amar, Nitai guno moni, Aniya premero bonna, bhashailo aboni. So, Prabhu, these two lines that...
Mata, why you stop?
Oh, okay. Premero bonna loiya nitai, aila goro deshe, ডুবিলো ভকত গণ দীনহীন ভাসে. দীনহীন পতিত পামর নাহি বাছে, ব্রহ্মার দুর্লভ প্রেম সবাকারে যাচে। আবদ্ধ করুণা সিন্ধু নিতাই কাটিয়া মুহান, ঘরে ঘরে বুলে প্রেম অমিয়ার বান। লোচন বলে মোর নিতাই জীবন ভজিল, লোচন বলে মোর নিতাই জীবন ভজিল, জানিয়া শুনিয়া সে আত্মঘাতী হইল।
Ribol, Ribol. Apurva. Beautiful. If you really don't understand the Bengali, it's like, I can't hold my tears. Like, just coming out. What a
It's
beautiful.
amazing, amazing, amazing song. কি অর্থ কি মানে বাবা, কি
So
মধুর, কি মধুর।
this song, as Shrivani Mata just sang, one of the beautiful song written by Sri Lochon Das Thakur. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani. So as Matas have a questions on two, one is Brahmaro Dullabha Prem Shabhakare Jate. Brahmaji, Lord Brahma, after he take birth, he tried to find out who is my father. Why? And why, I take birth? And why someone create me? Who is it? And we know that Brahma got the two word, tap, tap, tap. And after doing the meditation, tapa, Brahma got all the knowledge by flute sound from Lord Krishna. So all the sounds Brahma got from the sound of Lord Krishna, that's all the Vedic knowledge, all the Vedas, all the Upanishad. But he didn't get the holy name. It was locked in a heavy locker. So that locker, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke that locker and brought it for us in this age of Kali. Even Brahma can't get this. Even Brahma got all the knowledge, but Brahma can't get this treasure. That's Nityananda Prabhu take with him and just praying and asking to everyone, please take, please take, please take. So that's the saying, Brahmara dullabha premo. Even Brahma can't achieve that, but Shobhakare jache. How merciful Lord Nityananda Prabhu, that item he took and he went door to door. Please have it, please have it, please have it. Abadha Koruna Sindhu Nitai. Abadha, the Lochon Das Thakur using this word. There is two things. One is a Baddha, one is a Avadha. Baddha means you have a limit. As I have a limit, I can carry 10 kgs on my head. If I carry 20 kgs, I will break my neck. So in similar way, everyone can give that much mercy, how much that person have, even less than that. But Lord Nityananda Prabhu is the deity of mercy. So he didn't get any Kirpan ki bole? Miser, right? Miser. So Nityananda Prabhu doesn't do the misery. He distributes that prem to everyone. So that's why it's called Abadhya. Abadhya means giving more than we deserved. Does it make sense, Shrivani Mata?
হ্যাঁ প্রভু, হ্যাঁ, মানে অপূর্ব, আপনি দারুণ বোঝালেনও দারুণ। Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. So we are going to just recapping to having ourselves to thinking how fortunate we are. So we have still two more devotees. I want to hear from them also. One is Rose Mata sitting. So Rose Mata can share that how, if you fortunate to came to Krishna consciousness. So devotees can hear from him.
Yeah, for me, I'm on my way running, so and the little I know, I'm really fortunate because look like especially by little knowing about the Mahaprabhu, it look like it's like you are removing the color, the eyes, start to see little glimpse of light. And I feel so fortunate because I wonder myself where I will be all the time when I listen about the classes. Where I will be now.
Thank you. Thank you. And Charvapari, Rita Mata and Arindam Prabhu. We want to hear something from them and then we'll go to next verse.
Yes, Prabhu. Hi, Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We feel so fortunate. I am acquainted with Ram Hanuman Prabhu that we got this wake up call from you. So we can thank you for that. Prabhupada sent you to wake up us. Through you, we are here. We don't know what we will be doing right now. So we got our real identity, and I feel myself very fortunate that we are Bengali. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to
Very
talk
bold.
talk with the Bengali language. So I feel very fortunate that also.
Yeah.
Arindam Prabhu.
Probably I also conveyed this with you recently that I have been singing. I'm not a singer, but I try to sing in the evening and also try to read, at least listen to the songs, Vaishnava songs. And then every moment I feel so fortunate. Like these songs, I hear one song, maybe I take one step closer to Krishna consciousness. So for everything with the start, like from the devotee association, from Prabhupada's books and all these knowledge we are getting from all of the pure devotees, we cannot think how fortunate we are. Even if we cannot complete this in this life, I am sure that in Gita it says that if we start, it will never end. It will carry on. So we'll go to that moment when our bhakti will be fulfilled. So we feel every second, every moment, every breath, we feel fortunate to come to this Krishna.
So please keep us blessings so you don't leave our hand and we can continue.
See, like we are not only, I'm not only the one person's. How many hands here? There is a many hands are here in these classes, as
Yes,
you
Prabhu.
can see Ramchandra Prabhu, Ram Hanuman Prabhu, they all are very exalted devotee and you are in the right track. You're in the right path. And there is so many devotees surround you, will be protect you. Okay. And I would just pray to all the great Vaishnavas, behalf of Arindam and Rita. I would not say they just joined newly for Krishna consciousness. I would say they are actually doing the bhakti, but unawakenedly. but they wake up. And when they wake up, they are running really nicely. And they went, please shower your blessings for this beautiful couple. And, they are really progressing very nicely. And I feel
This is
very
all because of you,
blessed,
Prabhu.
very happy that's, how Srila Prabhupada and all the great Vaishnavas having their blessings to them. And please keep your blessings, all the devotees.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Very
Yeah,
well.
thank you. So let's go to next verse. It was very nice. I feel very fortunate. Yeah, I didn't say the fortunate about. So I feel very fortunate to, yeah, there is no doubt about Jodi Prabhupada na hoito, tobe ki hoito. There is no doubt on my life when I was thinking about becoming a devotee in my house. And then I start following all those rules, regulations, principles, chanting. But I may look like a Shahojiyas. I was giving lecture when my age is 11 years. I used to give lecture on Bhagavad Gita. So then, my age of 18, I planned to go to Vrindavan, become a Babaji. And my ticket and everything is confirmed, and ticket and everything. Yes, I'm going. And everyone knows in my house, everyone knows this boy will be not going to stay in home. Even I was planning from 15 years old from that time. And then I met one devotee, ISKCON devotee, just 3 days before of my Vrindavan trip to become a Babaji. Then the devotee are very merciful and he's saying, he's saying, I'm doing chanting, I have a tilak, I'm wearing dhoti, I have a big hair, so kind of mixer Shahojiya. So then he's saying, you chanting, you reading, we hear in this village, you give a lecture, people talk about you. Why not go to Mayapur? Then I said, no, I want to become a Babaji. I'm going Vrindavan. Then they said, why are you going Vrindavan? There is ultimately not the Vedic literatures also you have to learn within an institutional way. If you go to Vrindavan, become a Babaji, that's very hard to get that education. So that one actually stuck on my mind. That's true. Because I was giving lecture on Bhagavad Gita, and I know the Vedic scholars, an institutional way, if I learn, that's really good for me. Then I asked, okay, what is the procedure and what is this. And he said, okay, take this, and go and, join in New Bhakta. There. If you don't like it, then you go to Vrindavan from there. You have a ticket, so you don't have to worry about it. So just the next day, I left from my home and I went to Mayapur. And when I went, immediately, they accepted me. After joining, I still have 2 days for my ticket. So I said, okay, let's see 1 more days. If I feel good, then I'll stay here. If I don't feel good, I'm catching train, I'm going to become a Babaji. But I was thinking how fortunate I am when I joined to ISKCON, and then I understood what is the ultimate goal of life. Because we are running, even in so-called devotee, but doesn't have any goal of life. But by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we got that love of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sriman Nityananda Prabhu and all the lovely Vaishnava devotees. All the loving Vaishnava devotees, all the families, as your families. So I feel it's like a very fortunate, and also not like that. How fortunate I am that I don't have much quality. You all are sitting here. You are in a material way, you're a higher educated personalities. We have our here scientists. We have another, ITs. So all are is here. But see, I'm getting associations here. I'm talking even, I don't know how to speak. So this is only possible because we don't have that fortunate, but Prabhupada give us that fortune. I'm feeling very, very blessed. And I'm feeling even more blessed to have all of you with, these classes That's I can also read for it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Let's go to next verse.
Prabhu, some on this verse, it's so beautiful verse. And at one point of time, it's mentioned in the translation, Gauda Desh. Gauda Desh is, I was thinking about this word, which means is the West Bengal. Is this Gauda Desh is used because of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance place? That's why it's used, or?
Yeah, this over here, the Gauradesh are using as the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Gauradaya Pushpavanto. But before that, the place name was a Gaura. The Gaurbanga.
Gaurbanga.
Yeah.
So there is
the name was a before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
If I may add, there is a difference in the spelling.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaura is what do you call it? It's I don't know. In Bengali, it is a Vaishnaro, and Gaura, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is simple R. Whereas Gaura, the name of the place, it is with D. You can say almost like a D, but with an emphasis on Ra. So Gaura. And the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is Gaura, Ra, just simple Ra. So there is a little bit of difference in the name, in the spelling, but eventually, ultimately, it means the place where God, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. Right, Manoram Krishna Prabhu?
Yes, yes. Daibindrara Arra. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So yeah, you can see on this verse also that's what is there. That's the Daibindra. Okay, we'll go to next verse. Sri Krishna Chaitanya ar Prabhu Nityananda Jaharo Prakashe Sarvo Jagato Ananda. Divanand Prabhu, please translation.
Prabhu, which verse is this?
Verse 87.
87. Translation. The appearance of Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda has surcharged the world with happiness.
We all know that. The happiness, how happiness came. So that's why we're not discussing that. We're going to next verse. সূর্যচন্দ্র হরে জয়েছে সব অন্ধকার বস্তু প্রকাশিয়া করে ধর্মের প্রচার এই মতো দুই ভাই জীবের অজ্ঞান তমনাশ করি কইল তত্ত্ববস্তু দান সূর্যচন্দ্র হরে জয়েছে সব অন্ধকার বস্তু প্রকাশিয়া করে ধর্মের প্রচার এই মতো দুই ভাই জীবের অজ্ঞান তমনাশ করি কইল তত্ত্ববস্তু দান. Beautiful verse, beautiful. Maybe Braj Radha Mata or Prema Sindhu Prabhu, anyone can read translation.
As the sun and moon drive away darkness by their appearance and reveal the nature of everything, these two brothers dissipate the darkness of ignorance covering the living beings and enlighten them with knowledge of absolute truth.
No doubt about it. As because of their mercy, that's possible. As you know, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he appeared the place of Navadvip. On that time, specifically, in India, the whole India, the kingdom of holy literatures. And every time there is a specific areas have a specific specialties. As like a Vedantas are the specialties of Mathura. As like a other scholar specific on Banaras. And that time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, in particular on that time, the Navadvip, known as specifically the city of Bakaran. When city of Bakaran, the Bakaran have a different meanings in the same word. And people are ultimately misguiding the Bakaran. By doing the misguiding, they are ultimately going down in a darkness. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose in Sridham Mayapur to pick them up from darkness to sunshine. So that's the things. Lord Nityananda Prabhu and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are very, very merciful. Thus they came and they deliver all the fallen souls. And this is absolute truth. There is no doubt about it. We see there is so many, as a Chapal Gopal, as we talk, I think, other day. Anybody remember the pastime of Chapal Gopal? Short way.
Is it the pastime where there was a snake that cut it Radharani?
What?
Was it the pastime when there was a snake which bited Radharani?
No. This is Chapal Gopal with Srivas Thakur house.
Prabhu, he used to put all the paraphernalia for worshipping Mother Durga outside the house of Srivas Pandit Thakur, and he will call other Brahmins and all those, and they will say that, see, he's a worshipper of Sakta, like that. Yeah, Prabhu, during the Sankirtan when they do inside.
Yeah, so he didn't call actually.
Yeah.
He, in the nightly, hiddenly, he left in front of Srivas Thakur's house all the Kali Puja's item, including, wine, blood, dead body, means dead head, And then when Srivas Thakur opened the door, and he saw, and then Srivas Thakur actually calling to everyone, come, and see what we do in the night time. You see. So by that we see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like, no, not, Mahaprabhu is so angry. Srivas Thakur was praying, Prabhu, you're so merciful. So this is actually the proof that not everyone actually got your blessings yet. So there is still someone remain who need your blessings. And we know Mahaprabhu was very angry. And because of the Vaishnava Aparad, he got a leprosy disease on his body. He was a Shiva Bhakta. He went to Banaras, but Shiva, before he entered to the Banaras, Lord Shiva said, go away from here. You are a Vaishnava Aparad. You are a Vaishnava offender. You cannot enter to my dham. If you try to enter, you'll be banished, means your body will be burned and your body become ashes. And we know, then when Srivas Thakur Nityananda Prabhu mercifully tell, whom you did offenses, just ask forgiveness to him. Then he did understood that he did offenses to Srivas Thakur. When he asking forgiveness to Srivas Thakur just hug him. And Srivas Thakur said, Mahaprabhu is very merciful. He will forgive you. He will forgive you. And we know, by saying, Srivas Thakur just say that, immediately his leprosy disease just go away. And he got the Prema Bhakti. And he writing the song of Vaishnava Vandana. And become his name, Devaki Nandan Das. So that's kind of, there is a Agyan, was in a darkness. Using the Vedic letters is like, if you're worshipping Lord Shiva, you don't need to offer those kind of bad things, because Lord Shiva is a great Vaishnava. If you're a Kali worshipper, Kali is a great Vaishnavi. So you can't worship on that way. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and bring that darkness and give the light. Okay. Any adding or any subtracting on this?
I can remember one thing which Vrindavan Das Thakur has said during when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared when there was a lunar eclipse. So what Vrindavan Das Thakur is saying, like this Rahu is saying to moon, what is the use of your moonlight when the millions of koti moon is going to appear? So what is the value of your moonshine? So let me cover you. So that's what Rahu is saying to moon. So that is how Vrindavan Das Thakur is expressing there. Like when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, then what is the use of the other moon? Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share, Prabhu.
Nishkalanka Chandra Jave Hoilo Dai Shalkalanka Chandrerar Kiva Prayojan. You know, this moon doesn't have any dot.
Yes.
So that moon is appeared. So that's why the moon have dot on the sky. So that moon doesn't need. That's why Rao said, okay, let me eat you.
Yeah.
Very beautiful, very beautiful.
Yeah, in
Thank
Chaitanya
you.
Bhagavad was so nicely
Yeah.
described. That's true.
Thank
That's
you.
what I wanted. Hare Krishna.
They were getting nice things from different devotees. This is really fortunate, you know.
So
Any more things?
Yeah, this is an interesting. I must say, what I'm trying to say here is, in my family, basically, I think I just need to mention this regarding Kali Bhakta and Krishna Bhakta. Okay, so my family, my grandmother, basically, she is initiated in the Krishna Bhakti. She is a Vaishnava. I must say, I think our forefathers were also Vaishnava. I do not know. I saw my grandmother, so I know that she used to. I'm talking about 50, 60 years back, 60, 70 years back. She used to go to Vrindavan regularly from the remote place of Agartala, which is in the northeastern part of India. At that time, there was no good connectivity and so on and so forth. But she was so dedicated that she went to Vrindavan on a regular basis. I don't know which specific way. So she was a Vaishnava. So eventually, when it came down to her sons, basically, one of the sons, he became an ardent Sakta, basically. He was not very much in favor of Vaishnava path, because in the Vaishnava path, when my grandmother was there, she was strict. So obviously, she was 100% vegetarian. In Bengali families those days, being vegetarian was not that much common. So she was completely vegetarian, and there are lots of restrictions and so on and so forth. But in Sakta, in the Kali Matri puja line, basically, it is much more easy. You can become, meat eater and so on and so forth. You can do that. Whereas my father, basically, he took my grandmother's path to become a Vaishnava. So he also got initiated and so on and so forth. And ultimately, obviously, I also got initiated and so on and so forth. So in one family also, it can so happen that, one person remain a Vaishnava and another person become Shakta. It is so very interesting. I just wanted to share this.
Thank you. Ram Hanuman Prabhu, you want to share something?
No, Prabhu. It's nice discussion.
Okay, so we'll go to the next verse. Ogyan tomere naam kohiye koitab dharma atto kama moksha vancha adi shab. Translation, Ram Hanuman Prabhu.
Translation: the darkness of ignorance is called kaitva, the way of cheating, which begins with religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So this is very nicely are mentioning, as we know, Koitab Dharma. Koitab Dharmas, This is the another name, as Srila Prabhupada also mentioned. Darkness of ignorance was dharma, artha, kam, moksha. Chatur Purushatta. These Chatur Purushattas who are actually trying to get these Chatur Purushattas, that's the religious as called the Kaitava Dharma. The Kaitava means what Prabhupada said, Kaitava? Cheating process. Cheating process of a Kaitava Dharma. As you know, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. So this is Dharma Kama Moksha, Chatur Purushattas, that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami. Shakoli Ashanto. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Otoev Shant. So Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami, Shakoli Ashanto, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, Otoev Shanta. So because of this cheating process, we are not doing. That's in Srimad Bhagavatam, second verse. Who remember the second verse? Maybe Brajada Mata, did you remember second verse?
Prabhuji, it is the next verse to this, right? 91. Dharma, is that the one?
Yes.
Dharma Projita Kaitavo. Do you want to
Dharma
recite it?
Prajajita Kaitavatra
Dharma
Parama
Projita
Nirma Sharanam Chatam. I did. For everyone.
Vedya Dharma Projita Kaitavo Atra Paramo Nirmat Saranam Satam Vedyam Vastavan Atra Vastu Shivadam Tapat Rayon Mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Va Parair Ishwaraha Sadyo Ridya Avarudyate Atra Kritibi Shushru Shubis Tatshanat.
Right. So that's also Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami mentioned. পৃথিবীতে ধর্ম নামে যাহা কিছু চলে ভাগবত কহে তাহা পরিপূর্ণ ছলে, রাইট? পৃথিবীতে ধর্ম নামে যাহা কিছু চলে, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioning that in this world what so called the dharma, that is actually cheating process dharma, right? Anybody can give an example of those cheating process dharma?
There are so many, Prabhuji.
One.
Every religion, almost every religion is at least to the outer, in the outer shell are cheating religion, Islam or Christianity or Judaism or, so many different religions, because ultimately they do not project Krishna as the supreme personality. They have their own concoctions of God. They try to hide God from the followers actually. So because they try to hide God from the followers and they try to take a little bit more political approach towards God, they are all Kaitava Dharma. Nobody can, if any religion cannot expose Krishna as the supreme soul, they are all irreligion.
Right. So that's kind of, we can see, that's Kaitava Dharmas. And also there is another Kaitava Dharmas. We can see the people are doing the meditation not for pleasure of Lord, pleasure of themselves, or achieve those kind of things, dharma, artha, kama, mokshas kind of thing.
Then Prabhu, there are sahajiyas and all those.
I know. I was about to say that. I'm sorry, Prabhu. Go ahead. Yeah. We don't have to talk about Christianity like other religion. We have in our own religion so many things going wrong. Our sahajiya is one big example where they present themselves as Vaishnavas but they're far, far, far from Vaishnava.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, Prabhu. Sorry to cut you off. Sorry,
No,
Prabhu.
no problem, Mataji. Your voice is so sweet. You can anytime, Mataji, say anything. I don't mind, Mataji. Yeah, there are so many Sampradayas, Aul, Bauls, all those.
Neri, Shai, Darvesh,
Shai.
Jati Goshai, Katta Bhaja, Gaur Nagari,
Yeah, all those are
Otibari,
Vaishnava dharma.
Jugadhari.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got so many. So let's go to that verse. We just read it. Mataji read it. So, so on that verse, have a big purport Srila Prabhupada gave about the Kaitava Dharma. Just next verse, we just read it. So let's do one thing. Let's read the translation in Hindi, and we'll read the purport. Everyone will read one paragraph. Rachana Mata, Hindi translation, please.
अनुवाद महामुनि व्यास देव द्वारा 4 मूल श्लोकों से संकलित महान शास्त्र श्रीमद् भागवत अत्यंत अनंत एवं दयालु भक्तों का वर्णन करता है और भौतिकता से प्रेरित धार्मिकता की प्रवचना की विधियों को पूरी तरह बहिष्कृत करता है। ये शाश्वत धर्म के सर्वोच्च सिद्धांत को प्रतिपादित करता है जो जीव के 3 प्रकार के तापों को वास्तव में कम करने वाला और पूर्ण संपन्नता तथा ज्ञान का सर्वोच्च आशीष प्रदान करने वाला है। जो लोग विनीत सेवा भाव से इस शास्त्र के संदेश को सुनने के इच्छुक है वे तुरंत ही भगवान को अपने हृदय में बंदी बना सकते हैं। अतएव श्रीमद् भागवत के अतिरिक्त अन्य किसी शास्त्र की आवश्यकता नहीं रह जाती।
Very nice, very nice. So now, Dibanand Prabhu, could you read the first paragraph of purport?
Yes, Prabhuji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This verse appears in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.2. The words Mahamuni Krite indicate that Srimad Bhagavatam was compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva, who is sometimes known as Narayana Mahamuni because he is an incarnation of Narayana. Vyasadeva, therefore, is not an ordinary man, but is empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He compiled the beautiful Bhagavatam to narrate some of the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotees.
Thank you. Kishori Mata is there. She can read next paragraph.
In Srimad Bhagavatam, a distinction between real religion and pretentious religion has been clearly made. According to this original and genuine commentation on the Vedanta Sutra, there are numerous pretentious faiths that pass as religion but neglect the real essence of religion. The real religion of a living being is his natural inborn quality, whereas pretentious religion is a form of nescience that artificially covers a living entity's pure consciousness under certain unfavorable conditions. Real religion lies dormant when artificial religion dominates from the mental plane. A living being can awaken this dormant religion by hearing with a pure heart.
Thank you. Brajaradha Mata.
I will read, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah.
The path of religion prescribed by Srimad Bhagavatam is different from all forms of imperfect religiosity. Religion can be considered in the following 3 divisions. 1, the path of fruitive work. 2, the path of knowledge and mystic powers. And the third, the path of worship and devotional service.
You can go ahead to the next paragraph also.
Yeah, the path of fruitive work, karma kanda. Even when decorated by religious ceremonies meant to elevate one's material condition is a cheating process, because it can never enable one to gain relief from material existence and achieve the highest goal. The living entity perpetually struggles hard to rid himself of the pangs of material existence, but the path of fruitive work leads him to either temporary happiness or temporary distress in material existence. By pious fruitive work, one is placed in a position where he can temporarily feel material happiness, whereas vicious activities lead him to a distressful position of material want and scarcity. However, even if one is put into most perfect situation of material happiness, he cannot in that way become free from the pangs of birth, death, old age, and disease. A materially happy person is therefore in need of eternal relief that mundane religiosity in terms of fruitive work can never afford.
Thank you, Prabhu. Ramchandra Priya Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu. The path of the culture of knowledge, Jnana Marg, and of mystic powers, Yoga Marg, are equally hazardous, for one does not know where one will go by following these uncertain methods. An empiric philosopher in search of spiritual knowledge may endeavor most laboriously for many, many births in mental speculation, but unless and until he reaches the stage of the purest quality of goodness, in other words, until he transcends the plane of material speculation, it is not possible for him to know that everything emanates from the personality of Godhead Vasudeva. His attachment to the impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord makes him unfit to rise to that transcendental stage of Vasudeva understanding. And therefore, because of his unclean state of mind, he glides down again into material existence, even after having ascended to the highest stage of liberation. This fall down takes place due to his want of a locus standi in the service of the Supreme Lord.
And next paragraph also, Prabhu.
As far as the mystic powers of the yogis are concerned, they are also material entanglements on the path of spiritual realization. One German scholar who became a devotee of Godhead in India said that material science had already made laudable progress in duplicating the mystic powers of the yogis. He therefore came to India not to learn the methods of the yogis' mystic powers, but to learn the path of transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord, as mentioned in the great scripture Srimad Bhagavatam. Mystic powers can make a yogi materially powerful and thus give temporary relief from the miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease, as other material science can also do. But such mystic powers can never be a permanent source of relief from these miseries. Therefore, according to the Bhagavad school, this path of religiosity is also a method of cheating its followers. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly defined that the most elevated and powerful mystic yogi is one who can constantly think of the Supreme Lord within his heart and engage in the loving service of the Lord.
Ramchandra Priya Prabhu. Sorry, Ram Hanuman.
The path of worship of the innumerable devas or administrative demigods is still more hazardous and uncertain than the above mentioned processes of Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. This system of worshipping many gods such as Durga, Shiva, and Ganesh, Surya, and the impersonal Vishnu form is accepted by the persons who have been blinded by the intense desire of sense gratification. When properly executed in terms of the rites mentioned in the Shastras, which are now very difficult to perform in this age of want and scarcity, such worship can certainly fulfill one's desires of sense gratification, but the success obtained by such methods is certainly transient and it is suitable only for a less intelligent person. That is the verdict of the Bhagavad Gita. No sane man should be satisfied by such temporary benefits.
Next one also.
None of the above mentioned three religious paths can deliver a person from the threefold miseries of the material existence, namely miseries caused by the body and mind, and miseries caused by the living entities, and miseries caused by the demigods. The process of religion described in Srimad Bhagavatam, however, is able to give its followers permanent relief from the threefold miseries. The Bhagavatam described the highest religious form, reinstatement of the living entity in his original position of the transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord, which is free from infections of desires of sense gratification, fruitive work, and the culture of knowledge, with the aim of merging into absolute to become one with the Supreme Lord.
Divanand Prabhu, you can do next again.
Any process of religiosity based on sense gratification, gross or subtle, must be considered a pretentious religion because it is unable to give perpetual protection to its followers. The word projita is significant. Pra means complete and ujita indicates rejection. Religiosity in the shape of fruitive work is directly a method of gross sense gratification, whereas the process of culturing spiritual knowledge with a view to becoming one with the Absolute is a method of subtle sense gratification. All such pretentious religiosity based on gross or subtle sense gratification is completely rejected in the process of Bhagavad Dharma, or the transcendental religion that is the eternal function of the living being.
Kishori Mata.
Bhagavata Dharma, or the religious principle described in Srimad Bhagavatam, of which the Bhagavad Gita is a preliminary study, is meant for liberated persons of the highest order who attribute very little value to the sense gratification of pretentious religiosity. The first and foremost concern of fruitive workers, elevationists, empiric philosophers, and salvationists is to raise their material position. But devotees of Godhead have no such selfish desires. They serve the Supreme Lord only for his satisfaction. Sri Arjuna, wanting to satisfy his senses by becoming a so-called non-violent and pious man, at first decided not to fight. But when he was fully situated in the principles of Bhagavad Dharma, culminating in complete surrender unto the will of the Supreme Lord, he changed his decision and agreed to fight for the satisfaction of the Lord. He then said, Nashto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadan meyachyuta sthitosmi gata sandeha karishyase vachanam tava.
Very good. You chant very nicely this verse. Thank you.
This one also, Prabhu?
Yes.
My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to your instructions. Bhagavad Gita 18.73. It is the constitutional position of the living entity to be situated in this pure consciousness. Any so-called religious process that interferes with this unadulterated spiritual position of the living being must therefore be considered a pretentious process of religiosity.
Thank you. Premachindu Prabhu.
Can I read?
Oh yes, Brajrada Mata.
The real form of religion is spontaneous loving service to Godhead. This relationship of the living being with the absolute personality of Godhead in service is eternal. The personality of Godhead is described as Vastu, or the substance, and the living entities are described as Vastavas, or the innumerable samples of the substance in relative existence. The relationship of these substantive portions with the supreme substance can never be annihilated, for it is an eternal quality inherent in the living being.
Okay, next, and then we can do it. Yeah.
By contact with material nature, the living entities exhibit varied symptoms of the disease of material consciousness. To cure this material disease is the supreme object of human life. The process that treats this disease is called Bhagavata Dharma or Sanatana Dharma, real religion. This is described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, anyone who, because of his background of pious activity in previous lives, is anxious to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately realizes the presence of the Supreme Lord within his heart and fulfills the mission of his life.
Jai, a huge, very beautiful, a big purport. And Srila Prabhupada gave everything about the Kaitava Dharmas, every single point he described. So please read, if you don't understand, read twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. After you reading, you don't need any more descriptions on this Kaitava Dharma, what Prabhupada gave us. Right? So I was thinking today, as we did, very long time, thank you for that. And, in Bengali, we always say, Madhumayat Shamarpayami. So everything have to be end with a nice, a sweet voice. So we want to hear one more version from Shivani Mata, the mercy of Lord Nityananda.
Haribol Prabhu, Eki.
Please.
কোনটা প্রভু আপনি বলুন কোনটা আমায় তবে দেখি আমি আমার আরেকটা খুব পছন্দ সেটা হলো আচ্ছা ওইটা কোনটা প্রভু যে আমি ঘরে না যাইবো বনে প্রবেশিব এটা শুরুটা কি জানি কথাগুলো জানেন আপনি ওই এটা
জানি but I couldn't remember আমি ঘরে না যাই বনে প্রবেশিব
হ্যাঁ ভক্তিবিনোদ ঠাকুরেরই বোধহয় নাকি
something else do something else
ওহো এই রে
ওহে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর
হ্যাঁ ওটা ঠিক আছে আমার কথাগুলো চাই
আপনার কাছে নেই এটা
হ্যাঁ এইটা আছে একটা সেকেন্ড
although I don't understand some of the Bengali word, but it's so sweet to hear that. I do understand some of it, but some of it I don't. But it's so sweet. I just want to let you know that.
প্রভু আপনারা কথা বলতে পারেন I'm just trying to find the song.
Okay.
You can discuss something in the meantime if you want.
So I was requesting to Shrivani Mata to sing Ohe Vaishnava Thakur, the song. As you know, this is a beautiful song. Ohe Vaishnava Thakur Dayara Sagara Edashe Karuna Kori. It's have come on that way. Translation of this song. We will read the translation of this song. Oh, every song have translation. Right.
হ্যাঁ আছে প্রভু আছে
পেয়েছেন
হ্যাঁ পেয়েছি ও হে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি ও হে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি দিয়া পদ ছায়া শোধ হে আমায় তোমার চরণ ধরি ছয় বেগ তুমি ছয় দশ দোষ শোধি ছয় গুণ দেহ দাসে ছয় সৎসঙ্গ দেহ হে আমারে বসেছি সঙ্গের আসে একাকী আমার নাহি পায় বল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে একাকী আমার নাহি পায় বল হরিনাম সংকীর্তনে তুমি কৃপা করি শ্রদ্ধা বিন্দু দিয়া দেহ কৃষ্ণ নাম ধনে কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমারও শক্তি আছে কৃষ্ণ সে তোমার কৃষ্ণ দিতে পারো তোমারও শক্তি আছে আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তব পাছে পাছে আমি তো কাঙ্গাল কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ বলি ধাই তব পাছে পাছে ওহে বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর দয়ার সাগর এ দাসে করুণা করি
Thank you, Mataji. So
Beautiful.
sweet.
Beautiful.
হরি বল
Thank you so much.
অনেক 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 ভালো হয়েছে মাতাজি।
Very good.
থ্যাংক ইউ রীতা এগুলো জানো তো কেন এগুলো কেন ভাল লাগে জানো তো শুনতে কারণ এগুলোর কথাগুলো মিষ্টি আমি কি গাইছি আমি যদি নাও গাই even if I read those songs it will sound sweet it doesn't matter how I sing it even if I read those songs it's sweet because the words are sweet it doesn't matter who sings it and how they sing it it's the words that are beautiful and sweet
That's always is good is like the song is sweet there is no doubt about it it's like a the ripened mango are very sweet but that ripened mango if the parrot will poke the ripened mango that mango even become more sweeter than sweet so same things song itself have sweet but when the sweet persons have a sweet voice to sing that's even come double sweetness what do you think everyone agree?
Yes, Prabhu, 100%, 100%, Prabhu, absolutely.
100%.
Thank you so
Srivani
much.
Mataji is one of the topmost Gandharvas of our temple.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we'll hear more bhajan from her as she also giving us association later on. So today, officially our class is end now. But if you want to talk sometime.